Hello everyone, welcome to City Tour. So today I will give you some information about City Tour. The first one is question about Ho Chi Minh Complex. Briefly and present Ho Chi Minh's biography and career milestones, his life, and his contribution to Vietnam and Vietnamese people. Ho Chi Minh born Nguyễn Sinh Cung in 19 May 1890 and died on September 2nd, 1969. Ho Chi Minh was born at Nguyễn Sinh Cung in the village of Làng Chùa or Hoàng Chùa in Kim Liên Commune, Nam Đàn District, Nghệ An Province, in the central of Vietnam, which was then a French protectorate, colloquially known as Uncle Ho. Among of the aliases, and was a Vietnamese revolutionary and politician who served as founder and first president of Democratic Republic of Vietnam from 1945 until his death in 1969, and its first prime minister from 1945 to 1955. He founded the Indochina's Communist Party in 1930 and its successor Workers' Party of Vietnam, later Communist Party of Vietnam, in 1951, serving as party chairman until his death. President Ho Chi Minh revolutionary career and contribution. In 1911, Ho Chi Minh left Vietnam to find a way to liberate the nation. For over 30 years, he traveled across Europe, Asia, Africa, and America, working to earn a living, studying, and engaging in revolutionary activities. In 1917, inspired by the Russian October Revolution, he adopted Marxism and Leninism and believed it was the right path for Vietnam's independence. In 1919, representing the Association of Vietnamese Patriots in France, he submitted the petition of Annamese people to Versailles Conference, demanding freedom and equality for Vietnamese. In 1920, at the Tours Congress, he joined Communist International and helped found the French Communist Party, making his transition from patriotism to communism. From 1921 to 1925, he promoted revolutionary movement among colonized people and wrote influential works including The Colonial System of French Imperialism, which exposed colonial oppression. In 1923, he went to Soviet Union to study Marxist and Leninist theory. In 1925, in Guangzhou, China, he founded the Vietnam Revolutionary Young League, spreading Marx and Leninism in Vietnam and training future revolutionary leaders. On February 3rd, 1930, in Hong Kong, he convened a conference and to unify communist organization into Communist Party of Vietnam. From 1930 to 1940, he worked internationally, closely monitoring and guiding the Vietnamese revolutionary movement. In 1941, he returned to Vietnam, led Viet Minh Front build armed forces, and prepared for a nationwide uprising. On September 2nd, 1945, at Baden Square in Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh proclaimed Vietnam's independence, founding Democratic Republic of Vietnam. From 1946 to 1954, he led the resistance against French colonialists, culminating in the historic Điện Biên Phủ victory and signing in Geneva Accords. From 1954 to 1969, he led efforts to build socialism in the North and fight for liberation of the South, aiming for national reunification. In 1960, the Third National Congress of the Worker Party of Vietnam, now the Communist Party of Vietnam, he was elected chairman of the Central Committee. President Ho Chi Minh passed away on September 2nd, 1969, at the age of 79. His life standards are a shining example of great communist, a national hero, and an international figure who dedicated his entire life the cause of national independence, freedom, and peace for oppressed people worldwide. Okay, the second question. When was historical background of Vietnam society when Ho Chi Minh was born? French colonialists invaded Vietnam in 1858 and officially established their rule in 1884. The context of weakening of Nguyen dynasty. Many anti-French movements took place throughout the three regions. Typical examples was Yên Phụ peasant movement led by Hoàng Hoa Thám, the Đông Du movement led by Phan Bội Châu, and the Duy Tân movement led by Phan Châu Trinh. Three movements all created a buzz but all failed. French colonialists exploited the people, exploited the resources, and used harsh, oppressive laws, causing Vietnam people to fall into poverty. Question number 3. Do you think the body of Ho Chi Minh's mausoleum is real? Yeah, this is an exciting question. Many international would not believe it is real, but with us, we have been there many times. We still think it is real, and this is the secret. Number 4. Did he get married or have any children? Do you change your attitude towards Ho Chi Minh if he had got married and had children? There is no official evidence that Ho Chi Minh ever married or had biological children. Some unofficial stories mention possible relationships, but historically he remembered as someone who devoted his entire life to the country and revolutionary cause. For most Vietnamese and historians, even if he had a family, it wouldn't diminish his contributions. His long life, sacrifice, and leadership for Vietnam's independence remain deeply respected. Question number 5. What is meaning of Ho Chi Minh? The meaning of Ho Chi Minh is bright spirit or clear world. Chi meaning world or spirit. Or spirit. And Minh mean bright. Number 6. Can people take flowers into Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum? Visitors are allowed to bring flowers to Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. However, placing them inside the mausoleum itself is generally not permitted. Instead, flowers can be respectfully laid at designated areas outside the mausoleum, such as Baden Square or near the entrance. The practice allowed visitors to pay their respect without disrupting the solemn environment inside. Guideline for bringing flower type of flower two simple respectful arrangements placement layout lay flowers are designated spots inside the mausoleum bringing flowers inside is typical serve for official delegation or special ceremony. Okay, number 7. Make introduction of one pillar or a legend related to the pagoda. According to the folk legend, the king was old but had no children. Each day, he used to go to pagodas to pray to Buddha for a son. One night, he dreamed that he saw Kwanum Bhutat sitting on the lotus pond that lit up gorgeous colors and gave him a baby. When he woke up, the king told his subject about that. A few months later, the queen gave birth to a prince. The king was at the top of the world. He decided construct a pagoda with only one pillar to resemble a giant lotus blossom to show deep gratitude of Kwanum Bhutat. The pagoda has experienced many events through history. In 1105, King Lý Nhân Tông renovated and expanded the pagoda with Linh Chiểu Lake added. In 1954, French colonialists set mind to destroy one pillar pagoda. There was only the pillar with some wooden beams remaining in confusion. In 1955, the municipal government restored and preserved the pagoda as it is now. In 1962, one pillar pagoda complex was recognized as the nation. Indeed, the pagoda is not similar to anyone else in Vietnam. The structure of pagoda includes one pillar, Liên Hoa Đài, or a roof. Above the pillar, there are 8 wooden beams that sound like 8 petals. They are the systems of wooden slats forming the solid structure, firmly supporting the pagoda, which looks like one and as steady as a rock. Liên Hoa Đài is a wooden square structure with each side of 3 meters. There are 4 curved roofs covering 4 dragon head shapes. Each of the roof diameter is 1.25 meter. The roof of the pagoda is covered by traditional red and mauve tile, which show meticulousness and handicraftsmanship. It is placed in the center lotus pond, which is 20 meters, and there are 4 short walls surrounding it. To go up the pagoda floor, you must climb the stair, which has 13 side steps. Two sides of the brick tile wall with stone still introducing the history of the pagoda. In the pagoda, the statue of Quan Thế Âm Bhutat sit on a wooden and red lacquered throne at the highest position. Some worship objects, such as couple of pot flower vases, 3 bowls, candles, are decorated carefully, which creates great religious space. Okay, the second part, question about timbre of literature. The first one, how Vietnamese people learned before the school was built. Before the Temple of Literature, Văn Miếu, built in 1070, was established, Vietnamese people learned mainly through informal and traditional way. Family education. Parents taught their children basic knowledge, customs, and moral lessons at home. Village elders and local scholars. In some villages, learned elders or monks taught reading, writing, and Confucian values at a communal house or small village classes. Buddhist pagoda. Pagodas were a very important place where monks taught religious texts, basic literacy, and sometimes Chinese characters. At that time, there was no formal national education system. Learning was mostly about daily life skills, ethics, and religious knowledge. Number two. Okay, number two, when and how the Temple of Literature was built. Văn Miếu, literally translated as Temple of Literature, although more accurate name should be Temple of Confucius, as Văn referred to Confucius, is a temple dedicated to Confucius in Hanoi, northern Vietnam. The temple was founded and first built in 1017 at the time of Emperor Lý Thánh Tông. It hosted the Imperial Academy, Vietnam's first national university from 1076 to 1779. In 1803, the academy was moved to the new capital of Nguyen Dynasty in Huế. Temple of Literature was built as 1070 under reign King Lý Thái Tông to worship the holy ancestor of Confucianism. And also had the function as a royal school. The first student of that is Prince Lý Càn Đức, the son of King Lý Thánh Tông. What did students learn at the school? The organization of instruction and learning at the Imperial Academy began at 1076 under Lý Dynasty and was further developed in 15th century under Lê Dynasty. The academy was headed by a rector and a vice-rector. The professor of the academy held different titles: giáo thụ, trực giáo or bác sĩ. Many students live and study at the temple. Most students has passed the regional exam, Hương examination, or thi hương, before enrolling at the academy. During the course of the study at the academy, the student focused on the discussion of literature and wrote poetry as well. The student learned Chinese philosophy and Chinese history. They had textbooks printed on paper, which were both Chinese and Vietnamese. The students enrolled for 3 to 7 years. They had minor tests each month and 4 major tests per year. Success in exams certified by the ministry rights qualify them to sit national exam or whole exam or whole examination. Success at whole examination qualifies students to sit the royal exam, the Đình examination or Thi Đình, held at the court. At this exam, the monarch himself posed the questions, responded the candidates' answer, and the ranks those who passed into different grades. The Imperial Academy was the largest center in the country. Question number 5. Why were turtles used as pedestal for the stone stela? Why? To explain above the image, we must first talk about the meaning of image of the turtle in Vietnamese culture. The turtle has two main symbolic parts. The curved shell symbolizes the sky, and the flat belly symbolizes the earth. Therefore, when heaven and earth are in harmony, human will be in the middle. The existence of the turtle is due to the balance of yin and yang, the harmony between the self and the body of the turtle. Therefore, the turtle carries the responsibility of carrying stela. According to Vietnamese concept, the turtle is a species with long life and sturdy body, so it represents longevity. The turtle is also species that do not eat much and fast well, so it is considered noble and ethereal. For this reason, turtles are often carved into some statue or carry stela, on which are engraved the name of cultural celebrity or document of cultural and historical value. Speaking of the stele is exact because it follows the rule of heaven, earth, and layers of the universe. The stela and the circle facing the sun are symbol of upper layer. The turtle plays as the role of the lower level, and human affair will be the middle of the turtle. That creates the harmony between heaven, earth, or man. Or we can say these three symbols combine to create the image of a turtle carrying the stela, a symbol of sustainability. The significance. The stela were erected to honor the sages who passed the imperial examination from 1442 to 1779. This showed the attention and focus on training talented people and promoting education in our country during this period. Historical significance. The 82 doctoral stela in of the Temperature of Literature are 82 valuable historical relics dating back about 300 years, recording the education development process of the country. Each piece of information on stela is extremely valuable, helping historians research their lives and careers of many famous cultural figures. There is a lot of information about famous found here. Typical examples include Nguyễn Trãi engraved on two stela examination on 1442 and 1448 at examiner Nguyễn Trực, Ngô Sĩ Liên, Lương Thế Vinh, Lê Quý Đôn, or Ngô Thị Nhậm. Cultural significance. The carving technical on each stela in the Temple of Literature display aesthetic and artist views of the ancients. Through this, today's generation has opportunity to see with their own eyes of the talented hands of the master sculptor and previous period. Each inscription on the stela was exemplary piece of literature, representing the philosophical, historical, and educational views of corresponding historical period. This is what makes the doctoral stellar at the Temple of Literature unique and valuable. There was a total of 81 doctorate stellar built at Temple of Literature. However, due to historical changes, only 82 stellar has been preserved to this day, on which is kept full information about the name, the hometown of 1,304 intellectual. Of these, 85 was first class, second class, and third class. Question number 6. Present temple function. Is the Temple of Literature constructed in August 1070 under King Li Tengtong. The literature of temple has the function of worship, the scene of Confucianism. Then it became the first royal school where the princess and mandarin students studied. The first pupil of this royal school was Prince Li Kanduk, who became the King Li Nhân later. In 1076, Li Kanduk, who was this first student of this place, set up a teaching school beside temple after ascending the throne. The school only reserved for children of kings and mandarins, so it was named Quốc Tử Giám. In 1253, under King Trần Thái Tông, Quốc Tử Giám School renamed Quốc học viện, the National Academy. At this time, the school was expanded and accepted children of the public to study, but just chose students with academic excellence. During the reign of King Trần Minh Tông, Chu Văn An was the leader of the school. As of today's principal, he was responsible for managing all activities of Quốc Tử Giám and directly teaching Prince Trần Vượng. In 1484, King Lê Thánh Tông organized an examination and erected the stellar of those who passed the doctoral exam. By the time Nguyễn, Quốc Tử Giám School was built in Huế City. Since then, this school in Hanoi was renovated into Temple of Literature and preserved until nowadays. Question number 6. What do you know about Chu Văn An? He was born in Văn Thôn village, Quang Liệt commune, and in present-day Thanh Trì district in Hanoi. In the early life, he was famous as a straightforward man who passed doctoral examination, Thái học sinh, but refused to become Mandarin. Instead, An opened a school and began his career as a Confucian teacher in Huỳnh Cung village in Thanh Trì. An's teaching played an important role in spreading Confucianism into what at that time Buddhist Vietnam. Under reign Trần Minh Tông, he became a teacher at the Imperial Academy, where he was responsible for teaching Crown Prince Vượng, the future Emperor Trần Hiển Tông. Under the reign of Imperial Trần Dụ Tông, he became a high-ranking Mandarin. Later, he resigned and returned to his home village because Trần Dụ Tông refused his request of beheading 7 other Mandarins whom he accused of corruption. For the rest of his life, and continued teaching and wrote books. He died of illness in 1370. Number 8. What do we know about Confucius? Confucius was born at 551 and died at 479 BC. Was a Chinese philosopher, teacher, and political thinker whose ideas deeply shaped East Asian civilization, including China, Vietnam, Korea, and Japan. His teachings focus not on religion or metaphysics, but on ethics, politics, and personal morality. Here's clear overview. Main context of Confucian: humanist, compassion, kindness, empathy toward others, becoming a morally upright person, righteousness, doing what is right, even at personal cost, instead of acting out of self-interest, propriety, observing ritual, traditional, and proper behavior to maintain social harmony and respect, wisdom, the ability to judge right from wrong, fidelity, be honest and trustworthy, filial piety, deep respect and obedience to one's parents and ancestors, a cornerstone of social order. Influence on Vietnam and Asian countries. In Vietnam, Confucian entered Vietnam mainly during Chinese rule, especially under the Han dynasty, and became deeply embedded after Vietnam independence. Education. The imperial examination system in Vietnam was based on Confucian classic, selecting officials through moral and literary competence, not family background. Family and society. Vietnamese culture emphasizes filial piety, respect for elder, male-dominated family, and ancestor worship. Politics. Kings and emperors in Vietnam saw themselves as parent rulers, governing with moral responsibility. And another Confucian idea. The last part, question about Vietnamese cuisine. Okay, the first one, introduction. Vietnamese cuisine stands as a shining gem in the world of culinary arts, renowned for its vibrant flavors, fresh ingredients, and balanced nutrition. Rooted deeply in country history, geography, and cultural diversity, Vietnamese food is more than just sustenance. It's way of life, an art form, and a bridge connecting generations. What sets Vietnamese cuisine apart from other parts of the world is masterful harmony of taste, texture, and aroma. Every Vietnamese dish seeks a balance between five fundamental flavor elements: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and spicy. The philosophy creates meals that are not only satisfying but also nutritionally balanced with fresh herbs, raw vegetables, minimal oil, and light seasoning dominate the cooking style, making Vietnamese cuisine one of healthiest on global stage. In addition, meals are often communal, reflecting the Vietnamese spirit of family and togetherness. Different ingredients. Vietnamese cuisine places a strong emphasis on fresh, seasonal ingredients. A lot of herbs like mint, basil, cilantro. Fresh vegetables, live protein like fish, pork, and chicken. In contrast, Western cuisine often favor heavier meats, beef, lamb, dairy, cheese, cream, and preserved or processed ingredients. Cooking method. Vietnamese cooking methods such as steaming, boiling, stir frying, and light grilling preserve natural flavor in nutrients. Meanwhile, Western dishes often use roasting, baking, frying, or braising with richer sauces, and heavier use of butter or cream. Flavor and seasoning. Vietnamese foods strive for balance and freshness, using fish sauce, lime, and natural sweetness from fruit or coconut water. Western cuisine may lean toward richer, more intense flavors, with heavy seasoning like butter, salt, pepper, and herbs like rosemary or thyme. Presentation and eating style. In Vietnamese, meals are typical served family style, with many shared dishes placed in the center of the table. In Western country, individual plating is more common, and meals are often eaten course by course, starter, main, and dessert. Philosophy. Vietnam culinary culture follows the concept of yin and yang, seeking a balance of cooking and heating. Food is to maintain internal health. Western cuisine, while focused on taste and presentation, doesn't traditionally incorporate this philosophical approach to balancing bodily health through food. Number 2. Could you describe typical family meal? What dish, food, often in Vietnamese meal, and are there any unique eating table manner? Okay, the first one. Quick fact about Vietnamese family dinner. Vietnamese family dinners typically consist 3 meals of the day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast is early in the morning, lunch is around 11 o'clock, and dinner is usually around 6 to 7 o'clock. Rice is staple in Vietnamese family meal, and making it in main component of every meal. It is customary for Vietnamese people to ask if you had eaten rather than specifically asking about dinner due to prevalence right in the meals. Form presentation. Unlike Western during custom, Vietnamese people serve all dishes at the same time to be eaten with rice. To communal style of sharing food and sense of solidarity and togetherness among family members. Could you lay down previous 4 dishes like horse meat hot pot, coconut wine, blood pudding, ballot? What special Thai should I try in Hanoi, and where can I have those? Okay, the first one is pho, the signature dish of Hanoi cuisine. Phở or Vietnamese beef noodle soup is a classic dish of Hanoi, and you definitely not miss out on when visiting through thousand years old capital. The isan of pho is flavorful broth made from stew, corn bone, or sometimes chicken bones, together with some species such as cinnamon and rice and cardamom. The combination of soft as well cooked beef, spotless noodle, and green onions. Some place you can try phở nhớ at 27A Huỳnh Thúc Kháng Street, phở sướng at 36B Mai Hắc Đế Street, and phở thìn at 30 Loi Đúc Street. Second is Vietnamese noodle with grilled pork or bún chả. You can find at bún chả Sinh Từ at no 336 Phố Vọng Reset. Lá Vọng fish cake, chả cá lá vọng at Trần Khát Trân Street. The next one is vermicelli with fried tofu dipped in shimmering paste, or Vietnamese we call bún đậu mắm tôm. You can find at Hàng Buồm, number 4 Hàng Buồm Street. The next one is Vietnamese steamed rice roll, bánh cuốn. Bánh cuốn at bánh cuốn Gia An at 25 Thái Phiên Street. The next one is Tràng Tiền ice cream, and the last one is egg coffee. Egg coffee you can try at Cafe at 39 Nguyễn Hữu Huân Street. Okay, and the last one, how to make following drinking: bún chả, phở bò, and phở cuốn. Bún chả, what you need is pork belly slices, ground pork, rice noodle, tin vermicelli, fresh herb like mint, basil, and cilantro, lettuce, garlic, shallot, fish sauce, sugar, pepper, honey, cooking oil. How to make it: marinate pork with garlic, shallots, fish sauce, sugar, pepper, and honey. Grill the pork slices and lay the pork patties until golden. Boil the noodle and rinse with cold water. Mix dipping sauce, fish sauce, lime juice, sugar, garlic, chili. Eat with noodle, fresh herb, and dipping sauce. Enjoy every bite. For boil, you need beef bone, beef brisket, thin slices of raw beef, flat noodles, onion, ginger, star anise, cinnamon, cloves, fish sauce, sugar, salt, and fresh herb. How to make: boil beef bone and briskets warm. Throw water away and rinse. Small bone briskets, charred onion, and ginger cream water. How to make broth: add toast species into the broth. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Goodbye.